Hello, welcome. This is your brother Augustine Emeka. Today we are going to start writing our first Java code. And to do that, we are quickly going to go to Netbeans IDE, the Netbeans that we installed, and double click on it. We are using Netbeans to code, but we can actually use Notepad and command prompt as well. But Netbeans is easier to use. So that's why we are using Netbeans. It's an IDE and it makes the work of coding very easy. So if you still want me to teach you on how to use Notepad and command prompt, you can comment on this video and tell me, then I will do that. So quickly, I'm going to, let's wait for it. When it's fully up, good. So it's still coming on background scanning of objects, so you wait until the Netbeans is fully set up. When it's up, then we can start. Good. You can see everything is okay now. So I'll go to file. I want to create the project. All our Java classes will be in our project. So I click on file, click on new. This is file, new project. Click on new project. Java is already selected. We are working on Java. We cannot pick any of these other languages. This is what we're working on, so we'll leave it selected and we'll go to the next pane and click on Java application, because that's what we want to create. Then you click on next. So when we click on next, now we're going to put the name of the project. So I'm going to put the name as Augustine first. You can see the way I wrote it. The first name is starting with a capital letter, the second name is also starting with a capital. So this is the name of the project, Augustine first. So I'm gonna uncheck this create main class, because I want to create my main class by myself. Then I click on finish. So the name of our project is Augustine first. So I wait for it to come up. You can see it's coming up. Once it's fully up, you see it here, Augustine first. These are the other projects that I have in my Netbeans folder, but you can see Augustine first. Once it's up like this, I click on this plus mark beside it. I'll see source packages. I click on the plus mark beside it, source packages. Then I will now see default package. Then I'll click on it and right click. Once you click on it, once you right click, you see new. Then go to new and go to Java class. I click on Java class. So now I'm going to name my class. The Java class is the Java file that you're working on. So I'm going to call it my first code. That's the name of my first Java code that I'm writing. So that's what I'm writing in my first code. You can see the naming convention, very important. The class is inside the project Augustine first. So I'm going to now click on finish. Then I'll wait. Good. So when it's fully up, you see it here. This is the code that this is my first Java file that I created, my first code.java. Every Java code ends with the extension .java. So, and this is the code that is written in Notepad. So I'm going to take this out because I want to write my own by myself. So I'm going to highlight it and click on the delete or backspace. So I have a new entirely new editor. So I'm going to start writing the code. So I'm going to quickly say public class my first code. And what this my first code is going to do is that it's going to output the sentence, hello, this is my first Java code. So I want to develop a software that outputs, hello, this is my first Java code. So to do that, I'm going to create a class for it, and this is the class, public class my first code. I'm going to come down, press the enter key and open a curly bracket, press the enter key again and type the main method that is going to do the work. In Java, Java works as an object-oriented programming. So Java believes that every software you're writing is actually an object. You have to code it as an object. Let's say you want to code something about animals. You can have a class of animal. So instead of having public class, my first code, you say public class animals. And you know that every object in the world has functions and attributes. Like, let's say animal, like a human being, Austin. I have attributes and function. My attributes are, maybe you can say that I'm dark in complexion, I'm tall. Whereas my functions are things like talking, as I'm talking to you now, teaching, as I'm teaching you. So every object must have two things: a function or functions and attributes. So this is a class, my first code. So it's going to have functions and attributes, but for the purposes of this first code we are writing, this one is going to have only function and not attributes. So how do you know a function? You know a function when you say something like this: public static void main, public static void main. You open a bracket and put the argument, which is strings, put this other bracket and say args, not actually strings, just string args. So I'll come out and enter once, then open another curly bracket, press enter once, then I output what I want this code to do. And like I said, I want it to output hello, this is my first Java code. So how do you output that? You say system dot out dot print line, then in brackets you put what you want it to output. In brackets you put double quotes. Inside the double quote write hello, this is my first Java code. That's what you want this code to do. So having done that, you can see there are no red underlines. Let's say I remove T here, I click here, you can see there is red underline, and this indicating there is an error in this code. So if I put back my T, then everything is okay. So once you're not seeing any red lines, you know that you have a perfect code. So once I have this code like this, I can save by clicking inside this area and pressing Ctrl S. So when I press on Ctrl S, I can click on this run. You can see, look at this button, run. Click on it to run your code. Once you see this dialog box, press enter, OK. Then you wait for your code to be run. This is where the output comes out. So you'll be looking at this. You can see built successfully within 1 second. Hello, this is my first Java code. So you see this code is working. So if I change what is here, instead of having hello, this is my first Java code, and I say hello una don siam. If I have something like this, then I click on this run again, you'll see the output. You see hello una don siam. Anything that is inside the bracket here, inside system.out.println, that's what is printed out in Java. That's how you echo something in Java. So you can see this class, this is my code, my first code. This is the name, my first code.java. What it does, that its function is to echo out hello una don siam. So the function of every Java code must be written inside the main method, and this is how the main method is written: public static void main. This is the class. Like I told you, class is like an object, and every object must have a function, and that function must be written, for it to run, it has to be written inside the main method. Method is similar to saying function, and every object has function and attributes. In that same way, every class in Java has method and variables. So in subsequent classes, I'm going to show us what variables are, because every object in the world must have a function. Like I gave you an example with human being. Every human being has a function, and also human beings have attributes. Like me, my functions are things like talking, walking, eating, whereas my attributes are my characteristics, my features, like being tall, being fair in complexion, my date of birth, my age, my name. All those things are my attributes. So in that same way, Java has classes, and every class has method, which are the functions, and also variables, which are the attributes. So we're going to learn that, and that is the whole essence of object-oriented programming. So every code you want to write in Java, you assume it to be an object, so you must give it a method and attribute. So in subsequent classes, I'm going to teach us how we go about things like variables. Well, this is how the coding syntax in Java is. You must declare your class, which is your object. Public class, my first code. You put your bracket. You can see this curly bracket. These two are enclosing everything inside the class, whereas these two are enclosing everything inside the method, which is the function of the code that you've written. Now you can see the function of this code is to output hello when I don't see them. So this is where we're going to be stopping. Remember to go to YouTube. Inside the search box, type in Tclassified.com. When our page comes out, click on subscribe, so that every lecture that we put online, you see it. We're going to be having a detailed lecture in Java, so you better subscribe so that you can be getting all these lectures. You can always comment on these lessons and ask me questions so that I can give you more details. You can download our mobile app on Google Play Store. Just type in Jamway Neko Uni. Download it so that you can be following our lectures in details. Like our Facebook page, Jamway Neko Uni on Facebook. Like it so that you'll be seeing our updates very often and you can follow up. Thank you very much.